Tonight we're driving the 2024 Porsche Cayenne S. This is a refreshed Cayenne for the 24 model year. We have a lot of changes inside and out, the most notable of which, and my favorite, is the return of the 4-liter twin-turbo V8. That's mated with an 8-speed automatic transmission. We have 468 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. We've got a new curved digital gauge cluster here, new infotainment, new climate controls down here, ambient lighting, so we can see that at night in this video. There is an optional passenger screen over here, which this vehicle is not equipped with. We have about $121,000 as tested price on this Cayenne. Starts at $96,000. I'll put all the options and everything in the description. Let's walk you around this, talk about what it's been like to live with this week. Of course, we'll take it for a drive and give you guys some driving impressions as well. This is painted in Carrara white metallic, which is a great color on this Cayenne. It looks fantastic. It's a bright white on these optional 21-inch wheels. Really nice color combo. We have slightly larger outer tire diameters for the 24 Cayenne. Nice meaty sidewalls on these 21s. Gives us a few more tire options as well. 3D taillights are looking sharp. This can tow up to 7,700 pounds. This is kind of the do-it-all, take you anywhere, do anything, and have fun doing it SUV. I spent a considerable amount of time off-road and on track in one of these at Porsche Experience Center in LA last year, and was so impressed with the breadth and capability of this Cayenne. It can just do everything very, very well. It's pretty amazing. This new 2024 Cayenne aims to improve on that. Pretty much the same looking cargo space back here as we've always had. Compact spare tire, cargo cover, good amount of room in the back seats. We've got rear window shades, seats fold nice and flat too, they lock in place. Adjustable backrests, rear climate controls as well. Super easy to get in and out of. This rides on the air suspension, so we can raise and lower our ride height. It'll lower in sport mode, and on the highway, it'll raise up in off-road and normal mode. Really sharp looking interior, simple, modern. I found it really easy to live with this week. Only really a couple minor complaints with this new Cayenne S. Overall, it is just one of the best performance luxury SUVs on sale. So much customization, so much luxury, so much performance and capability here in one package. The new front end is redesigned. It looks just a little bit more squared off with the grille. It's subtle, you barely notice it, but it's just enough of an update. Let's take a look at this 4-liter twin-turbo V8. This is rated for 15 miles to the gallon in the city, 21 miles to the gallon on the highway. I've averaged about 19 combined in this week. Honestly, not a whole lot to look at up here. This engine is shared in many other Volkswagen, Audi products. It even says VW Auto Group right there. Awesome engine, great torque, sounds fantastic. It really feels like it belongs in this Cayenne. We still get our classic grab handles right here. Lots of gloss piano black here. It has gotten a little bit grungy over the course of a week. You're going to want to have a microfiber towel handy in your glove box to keep it nice and clean. We have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, a fantastic BOSE sound system in this Cayenne. Pretty responsive infotainment, reasonably simple. New gear selector here to the right. Nice looking camera system. No parking brake button, which is kind of strange. The park button doubles as that. That's a setting you can turn on and off in the menu. A few different gauge cluster designs. You got this 5-pod, 3-pod, and you can select whatever you want to see in here. Map, full map, and a minimal display. Paddle shifters behind the wheel. New drive mode selector right here too. Normal, sport, and off-road. Off-road will raise up the air suspension all the way. You can go into a bunch of different settings here. Terrain, gravel, mud, sand, and rocks. That'll adjust chassis settings, suspension height, differential settings, etc. In the old Cayennes used to have switches for air suspension, ride height, differential locking. Now that's kind of all automated depending on what drive mode you've selected. Stop start is pretty intrusive in this car. You can turn that off. However, you either have to go through this menu right here, or I've had it programmed to my diamond button right here on the steering wheel. So that's something I've been pressing every time I start up the car, or you can just leave it in sport mode. But every time you change drive modes, auto stop will re-enable. At least it's a pretty quick to respond system, but it's not like this has a mild hybrid system or anything like that. You're still engaging that starter motor, and it can give you just a little bit of lag off the line, so I prefer to leave it off. Pretty nice spec of Cayenne. Again, the level of customization with these Porsches is so expansive that you can pretty much do whatever you want inside of these. This is a little bit more reserved, keeping it classy. I like the ambient lighting. We have a few options with that. Red, orange, white, topaz blue, dynamic. It will adjust to the music cover, whatever you're listening to. That's kind of cool. You can change the ambient lighting brightness, football cup holder, doors, overall brightness. Nice to have that control. Lots of settings in this infotainment. You can go pretty deep into some menus, setting this Cayenne up to your preferences with drive modes, driving assistance, etc. We've got wireless charging right down there, 2 USB-C ports, another place to put some things here, cup holders, 12-volt cigarette lighter port, a little bit of storage in here as well. That's nice. Good sized glove box. All right, let's set off and see what this is like to drive at night. We have some new 2-valve and 2-chamber dampers in this new 2024 Cayenne. The ride quality is fantastic. Porsche has also revised the steering. So it's a little bit lighter than the previous generation. It feels really good, a really nice weight around town at slower speeds. Weights up nicely under load. It's even a little bit communicative for an SUV, and today we're on a set of Pirelli winter tires. I love this 4-liter twin-turbo V8. It's so torquey, so smooth. Paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission, it is just the best powertrain for this Cayenne, in my opinion. One complaint that I do have for night driving is there's no way to quickly adjust your interior brightness, your gauge cluster brightness. There's no dimmer switch over here. You have to go into the settings. Tiny little thing over to the right. Vehicle settings, interior lights, brightness, and I'm going to turn it down to, maybe we'll do 10%. But my preference for that is always changing depending on the level of available light. So maybe I want 5% when it gets a little bit darker. They do give you a button for traction control. Love to see that. Love the control weights, love the inputs. The handling here is magical. We also get a revised cruise control stalk down here. That's nice to see. Change your following distance very easily. Skip 5-mile-an-hour increments. Very easy to use, very easy to operate. Basically, it's just kind of the opposite of what Audi's stalk is in terms of its operation. So, click it in to engage or change your type of adaptive cruise control. Press up to set your speed. Push it forward to cancel, pull it back to re-engage the system. There's even a little button for lane keep assist. Very quiet, very comfortable on the highway. This Cayenne feels so solid and so stable at speed. It's one of the most well-sorted, best handling, best riding SUVs I think I've ever driven. The BOSE sound system is quite good too. We'll do a brief sound system test at the end of this video, so if you guys want to stick around for that. Back into sport mode. This even rides well in its sport damper setting. Not too stiff. You can definitely feel things tighten up, but it's not punishing. It's not too much. Good rotation on throttle there from the all-wheel drive. Headlight performance is fantastic at night. Again, really, only major complaint is I can't adjust my gauge cluster brightness. I understand why manufacturers are getting rid of some physical controls, especially if they're just not frequently used or they're just kind of redundant. But something like that, I've always adjusted my gauge cluster brightness according to the level of ambient lighting. And when you're really driving through a dark section of road, you want that almost completely down. And having to go through a bunch of different menus to get there, in my opinion, would be kind of annoying. Great visibility in this Cayenne too. It's kind of the right size for an SUV of this type. It's not too big, easy to park. You can option this with 4-wheel steering. That makes it really maneuverable in tighter areas, as well as handle better. So poised around a corner. You can really hustle this Cayenne S, push it so hard. The chassis here really isn't that different from the Turbo GT. We just have a slightly different state of tune with the engine. Different brakes, different suspension slightly, but the capability here in Cayenne S form is very, very high, on and off-road. Every now and then we get a press car in to test. That makes me go on AutoTrader and search for used examples. This Cayenne S is one of those. It is just a fantastic overall package. Really cohesive in its execution. The design here is very well done inside and out. My wife loves it. I really enjoy driving it. And if you guys get a chance, go check out the PECLA video of the Cayenne S and the off-road modules, on the handling course, and just on the skid pad too. We had a lot of fun in this car, and that was the previous generation with the V6, twin turbo V6. Let's pause here, walk you around this one more time, and then we will do a quick sound system test. And I have to show you guys launch control too, because it is absolutely bonkers. Go into CarPlay, music, super responsive infotainment system, love that. Got a volume knob right down here. And we'll just sneak in a quick launch control right here. Why not? Yeah, this BOSE is great. Let's pull off here, show you guys something real quick. I'm actually a pretty big fan of these new climate controls here in the center. This kind of the whole panel pushes down when you press them, so it gives you a bit of feedback. It's almost haptic, but it's just kind of a click. And you've got toggles here for your temperature. Air conditioning, passenger, and driver temperature can be separate. You can sync everything easily. Heated, ventilated seats. Turn both on at the same time, which is pretty baller. Down here you've got wireless charging, USB ports, more storage. It's all simple and easy to use, and just very effective. Giving you guys a little bit better of an idea here on headlight performance at night. Driving through this neighborhood. Auto high beams do a nice job too. In every scenario, this Cayenne S really shines. You can tell Porsche just put a lot of thought and engineering into making this just about the perfect SUV. I love Love the way it looks, love the way it drives. The tech in here is very well executed. It's the whole package. It's not trying to be too showy. It just keeps everything classy and just right. Porsche knows how to keep good balance in a car and in their products. Alright guys, well that's going to be a wrap for this one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned for more coming on the channel, and also go check out the videos that we filmed on this on the Winding Road Magazine channel and the TheTopher Drives YouTube channel. That's it for this one. We'll see you guys later. Take care. Porsche and Audi also have my favorite lock chime too. Took me a little bit to get used to the shifter location here, right to the right of the steering wheel this week, but once I've lived with it, I actually really like it. It's super easy to operate. I do miss the turnkey start on this. Having a push button just isn't quite the same.